Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is once again time for the WADcast. That's the Writers, Actors, Directors podcast, and all of those awesome jobs in between on a movie set that make all these dreams come true. I am one of your hosts, Josh, and joined, as always, by the lucky bastard that hasn't lost power over the last couple days, Brandon.
What is up? Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the WADcast. I know these days you guys are kind of wondering, are we going to or are we not going to have a show this week? But, you know, one time, technical difficulties, and by technical difficulties, one of us was spreading ourselves a little too thin.
Yeah.
And I tried to bullshit my way through that one. But people saw through it because there were no technical difficulties. You just had to sleep. But we actually have a special episode tonight. Those that are familiar with my life outside of the WADcast and work and everything else, Bad Agent had a screening in a theater in Corona. Okay. Been living in California for 5 years. I barely know the surrounding areas, but no. So, and we had the person that ran that film festival, Dave Uchansky, writer, producer, actor. Been in a few things, independent films, even directed, I believe, your own short film before, right?
Did, yes.
Okay. So you director as well, throw that on the title. But we had this, we had it in the theater. So we had it, met a lot of really cool people, great people. And so I decided, like, we spoke on the phone and wanted to get him on the show so we could discuss a few things, not so much just the film festivals, but get to know him and maybe talk further on future episodes if we have him on the show again. As always, you're always welcome back after the show's over. We have a few returning guests. But either way, so Dave Uchansky, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on here, sir.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to say hi to all 5 of our listeners right now.
Do we know their names yet?
Not yet. They're usually like anonymous. We just see that we're watching. But
bring them out of the shadows.
Yeah, these are our stalkers. So
yeah, if you have any questions for Dave, start shooting them out there in the comments, and we'll put them on the screen.
Yeah, try not to wait till after the show already finishes, wrapped, and then gets reposted. And it's like, oh, I've got a question. Well, it's too late then, guys. It's too late. So But yeah, so Dave, how you doing tonight, buddy? It's good to see you. Good to speak with you again.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm trying to. There it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to spread awareness of the show being live right now, and my computer is. I was going to say my computer is blurry, but let me fix that really quick. There we go.
I love you guys' intro and the theme song. That's really good. Put that together.
Oh, that's all Joshy over here.
Yeah.
Josh, awesome job.
Thank you.
So you've worked on a few things. There we go. Sorry. Done. Sorry, Dave, you're going to find out really quick that the WADcast, we never have our shit together here.
First time.
Well, one of us, anyway.
Fix it. Got it. Just got to smack it a little bit. All right. So, yep, got it. Okay. So, yeah, you've been in a few things. I've got your credits here on IMDb pulled up. And actually, you sent me a link with the films. I watched. What was it? Black Pumpkin.
Black Pumpkin, right?
Yeah, I liked that. I enjoyed it. I actually really did enjoy that movie. I was, independent horror films are actually usually very, very risky to, really watch. But I really had a good time watching it. I really enjoyed it. So, like, when it comes to like these movies and everything else, like, what do you look for when you're going to get involved with a project? Like, I mean, like, what got you? Well, let's go back. What got you into working in the actual industry? Like, what piqued your interest to get into working with film or television, anything in that field?
Well, I actually come originally from Tennessee, and I've always had an interest in film, television. Did a little stage work there. Moved to San Diego. I did some stage, did a little independent stuff. But I figured if I wanted to do it well, I need to kind of be up the freeway to see where most stuff is done. So I came to Hollywood, and it's really you got to, if you're lucky, you can make it well. But if not, sometimes you got to make your own success, and that's kind of what I did.
Okay.
I did a little independent film years ago. You can actually still catch it on YouTube. It's called Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid. A little 45-minute film. It's on YouTube. It was a little sci-fi based, like Buck Rogers, Dick Tracy type of thing. I did that one, and then actually I went to a Halloween party year after it premiered, and one of the cousins would be a filmmaker, and he was inebriated he had some different effects. He was enjoying life, and he had an idea for inspiration for a horror film.
Okay.
If I would be in his film, and I told him I would, but then he mentioned, well, shoot it. He didn't know anything about shooting. I was saying he would probably make this a SAG film, and I came on as a producer, and from that little meeting, developed a friendship that we've gone for 10 years. We've made
You've worked on
we've also got the film festival. So
okay.
so that's how it started. You just got to make your own. You got to make your own art, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, so how long would you say have you been like working on stuff? Like, I mean, I'm sure you've done ample writing and everything else. How long ago did you move from Tennessee out to? Because I mean, like working in theater, I don't think people really respect theater and the work that goes into it. My younger sister, she's worked for a few years now working in theater between New Mexico and Chicago, Albuquerque and Chicago, Illinois. So she's been working as like a stage manager and things like that. And I don't really know what all goes into it, but I know that it's not an easy gig.
Right.
And on top of that, I know that we had Mark on a show like years ago that had a show made on like in theaters. So I know that getting things done like that, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of just stress, but when you get it done, it pays. I'm sure it pays off, much like making your own film or even being involved in the film production.
Absolutely.
So how long ago would you say that when you left Tennessee, when you came to San Diego, like how long would you say you've been working in the industry?
Over 20 years.
Oh, go you. God.
Go figure.
I'm off and on 15.
Come Grasshopper, I will teach you.
What's that?
Come Grasshopper, I will teach you the way
of the world. Wax on, wax off, right?
Exactly. You just got to keep on taking opportunities where you see them and keep on promoting yourself. And the more experience you can get from behind the camera, on the stage, producing, directing, everything you can do, it makes you a better person, makes you a better actor, it makes you a better filmmaker.
Oh, yeah. Now, it's funny. Like, I'm surrounded by people that have no problem acting. Like, over here. Like, I've got two people. I'm like sandwiched between two people on this show that have been in front of the camera and probably have no problem doing it. And I can't even give a damn interview on my own projects because I just don't like being in front of the camera that much. This right here is acceptable because it lasts an hour and me and Josh have control. But so Josh he's an actor himself.
I dabble.
Yeah, you dabble. So I figure, Josh, do you have any questions at all? Because I don't want to every time we have a guest, especially if it's one that I bring on, I usually hijack the entire show. So I'm trying to be better. Oh, and one more thing really quick. I have to lay this rule down. Dave, we have a rule on the show that exists because of me. Josh made the rule.
I do.
I'm allowed one F-bomb. One.
Only one?
Only one. We got to keep that PG-13 rating. I swear right now, if iHeartRadio ever finds out how much I swear on this show, we're going to lose. We're going to lose it. We're going to get kicked off. So if you take my F-bomb, because Josh is he's a doting father of three. And so he's got a very good mouth. He tells me when his kids are around usually.
I gotta
Sometimes he
clip that.
fails to do so, and the kids hear a little bit more than they should be hearing. But
You know what? I'm going to clip the part where you said I have a really good mouth, right? That's getting pulled. It's going,
Josh,
it's going in the ads.
Josh, I meant that in more ways than one, buddy. Okay, but you and I will talk later on. But
So you're wondering if I have any questions for our guest?
yes.
Well, I'm the guy that's all about the whys and the history. So my first question is going to be, you know, I kind of see this whole show as not necessarily a template for people to follow as far as other people's careers goes, but, you know, everybody's looking for that first step. You said you moved from Tennessee to
San Diego.
From San Diego?
Tennessee to San Diego, and then LA.
San Diego. Okay, then to LA. Now, when you got to LA, fresh, you know, new to the neighborhood, what was the first thing you did? You know, as far as your plan? Did you find a job? Were you a singing waiter? Did you jump right into making art? What was the first step?
Well, one thing, I had a job when I came out here because as an actor and artist, it's really hard to make a living. You got to pay the rent somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I had a here, but first thing I did when I got here, I started going for the acting classes. I mean, it was the middle of Hollywood where people. I met somebody from Ireland who it would kill to be in Hollywood, kill to be in Los Angeles. And here I was within a block of Hollywood Boulevard. I just decided to just get exposed as much as I could. I saw a lot of theater. I found different acting teachers, talked to different people, got in networking groups. I went to an improv group. I just constantly, you got to immerse yourself. If you want to be an actor, you got to put yourself in. When I first got here, I applied for extra in films and TV. I just wanted to be on set. So I kind of immersed myself. I went out to Paramount Studios. My name was at the gate. I think the guard had my name on the gate. It felt really big, although it was just a little extra. But it was a way to get. I just want to get as much exposed to much of the business as I could, and so I did everything that was possible. I went on game shows, or applied for game shows. I did everything.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I guess just jumping feet first into the culture. So you're absolutely ready for taking it on as your full-time everything. I still do have my real job, I guess. But I really want to do this full-time, which would be great. And I suppose also doing, like you said, immersing yourself, surround you with, as Brandon mentioned, like-minded people that are all working kind of together to build themselves up in the world of art. So as just about every guest has ever said, it helps to start meeting people. You got to. And interesting, you're going to have people in your life you meet that are going to keep you down. You got to shed those and get rid of those and keep looking for a good group of people and work with those folks. You want to get people better than you. Hopefully people can help you up the ladder a bit. Since I've been here, I've got tons of folks that I can call up. We did a film a few years ago, and I was actually we were looking for a casting director. I go, well, I kind of can do this. It's not that hard. We rented over studios over in Hollywood, and we did auditions, and I casted both films, both Bloody Bobby and Black Pumpkin. I did the casting, pretty much held all that. You just do it. And so, for instance, I did a play of a real nice guy, and we had a part, and I said, I can bring Alton in for this. Why do I have to? So it's all association. Just get a group of people, and you keep on working with those folks and keep on refining it. You make it better and better. I did that this past couple weeks ago at the film festival. Brandon's one of them. I've met some really good folks. Hopefully we'll work together, and you got to keep on networking, keep on making yourself better. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's like what is it saying? Like if you hang out with people that are, I don't know, what was it? Like if you hang out with people that don't really do anything, that's pretty much where you're going to go. If you hang out with people that are trying to do something then you're going to improve. If you hang out with people that are doing what you want to do, then those are pretty much like free school. And like the thing that I try to tell people is that I've got friends of mine that live in New Jersey. He's got a kid brother that wants to move out to California, go to film school. I told him, don't go to film school. Tell him, get a job at a studio, work on a set. Tell him, you will learn everything that film school will not tell you. I think the other day I was talking to you, Dave, about this. I remember, and Josh, I think I told you about this before. When I was in film school, I had a teacher that she was awesome. Everyone loved her. Everyone adored her. She was the most badass teacher I've ever had in college. She wasn't much older than me, but I remember she worked on a lot of projects. We learned everything we needed to know in film school about how to operate camera equipment, how to write a screenplay, how to direct an actor, how to set up and break down a set, grip, like lights, staging, all this stuff. You learn all this in film school, which is great. You don't learn how to finance a damn movie. They don't tell you how to find investors. They don't find you how to do anything like that. Or how to one thing I did when I wanted to get an investor was I would show I'd send a clip from a clip of what I was trying to do, and I'd send it out to people. But coming into that, Dave, how would you look at with Black Pumpkin? How did you guys go about getting the investors? Was that crowdfunded, or did you guys actually have to speak to people to get them to invest money in it?
We tried everything. Our first film, actually, we did. I didn't do much. My co-producer Ryan, he has a massage business, and he was rubbing naked people on the table, and they very personal. Start talking about what you're doing, and they kind of interested. I mean, almost like it's the Pied Piper. He brought him along, and we shot that. That film was about $100,000 budget, and it was the first film. We had people believe in us, and that's how it happened. Second film, we got one investor to come in, and she invested the whole pie. She put everything in.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
We tried, but the first we did try a little bit of crowdfunding, and that's a good. You can do that. It has happened before. You got to make sure if you do it, you do your perks. Like on Indiegogo, you tell them when you make the movie, you're going to get your DVD, you're going to get your poster signed, but you got to make sure you give them the things. But that's the way to, there's no wrong way to do it. Just the thing is, you got to do it. It's also a good idea to try to find a distribution deal before you go in. If you're really looking for investors, you get a distribution deal, and that's going to help you actually get real money. For instance, we have a production company, a distribution company. They can, for a $200,000 budget, they can actually make money on a $200,000 film. They can take that, they know how to sell it, and they're able to make enough money to give all your investors money back.
Okay.
Be able to make a little bit of profit, and then hopefully if it works out, the filmmakers will make a profit. Because first of all, you want to make sure your investors are paid back. You give them a bit of a bump, and then hopefully there's any money left, you go 50-50 and you can make some money, enough to make your next project. So there's a lot of opportunities. You just got to put yourself out there. You got to have something interesting. One reason we did horror films is horror films are a good market. They're not coming to see me as an actor because they don't know me. They're looking to see the monster. They want to get scared. And there's a big, huge market for horror films. So you got to figure out if you want to do a rom-com, maybe that's not the best. It should be your film.
Not a great market for those at all these days.
Yeah. Unless you have George Clooney, maybe that would work.
No, you have to have a big name for a rom-com. Right. Look at Terrifier, man. Terrifier and Terrifier 2. No one knows who the hell the actor is that's playing Art the Clown, and no one knows any of the actors in either one of those two movies. And
no one cares.
Look at the box office numbers. So I don't want to say box office, but I guess kind of. Terrifier 2 didn't have I don't think it had a theatrical release, but it's just word of mouth on I think a $1 or $2 million, $1 million budget, and brought in over $100 million right now.
That's crazy. It's insane.
It's repeating the success that Blair Witch Project had.
Right.
A $20,000 movie made almost $1 billion in the box office.
Paranormal Activity. You can always be the next Paranormal Activity. Terrifier, Blair Witch. You just got to keep on putting yourself out there. Then once you make Paranormal Activity or Terrifier, then your doors to people know who you are. Then you can make your passion project. Then you can do the really cool stuff that you want to do. But you got to get the door open.
Well, I said, like, that's actually, and that's something I try to tell someone. Like, you brought up a really good point. Horror films are always in demand. People, it's like riding a roller coaster. People want to be scared. Even if they don't want to be scared, they may like horror films. They may want to be creeped out a little bit, like a ghost movie, like you said, Paranormal Activity.
Sure.
I'm obsessed with slasher movies, and I would much rather be killed by Michael Myers than Art the Clown at any day. But like you said, like, people may not know who you are in the horror film. They don't know who anyone is. All they care about is being scared.
Right.
Now, rom-com, you gotta get Jennifer Aniston or something like that, or Katherine Heigl, her.
Look at the first Scream. Most people were relatively unknown before they made it. Then they all. Yeah. It's a good way if you're an actor and you can get on a good horror film, bounce on that, because that's a great way to get that thing could take off in your history.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like Scream, God. We could talk about film history all day long here. I would go ape shit over talking about film history, but one last sidetrack about this. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, about Scream, as many movies as are in the franchise now. Scream was written over the course of 3 days in a shack in the middle of the desert, and after the guy wrote it, he had a backup plot for a sequel and then a third movie, and it went into a bidding frenzy in Hollywood and sold for, I think, 1.6. The script sold for $1.6 million, which is unheard of. But still, here we are, 25 years later, and you just keep getting new killers that keep getting killed.
It happens.
Looking forward to this new one.
Nobody's gotten Sydney yet.
Well, Sydney ain't going to be in the next one now, is she? So
it'd be crazy if she was just killed off camera.
It's like Sydney just retired from Ghostface. She learned how to not answer the damn phone.
Ghostface is on the loose, Sydney. Not home.
Ghostface, he can't call her, he can't text her, she's not responding to his emails. Ghostface got ghosted anyway. So I mean, okay, so moving on with all this, now you have some really good advice as far as distribution. So it's you're able to get Black Pumpkin, the films, you're able to find distribution deals for them. So how do you lock in? How would you recommend locking in a distribution deal for a project that is being filmed, or if as you said, you want to go to investors, but you want to show that you had distribution ready for it? How do you find distributors? How do you go about that?
It's almost like the chicken and the egg. If you have a distributor, you're going to get investors, because if maybe your mom's going to put money in your film, but no one really serious is going to want to give you $10, $15, $20, $30,000 and never see it again.
Yeah.
So the idea is to get a good concept. There's so many smaller distribution companies. You're not looking at a Paramount or MGM. You're looking at small companies that also go to the. I would market yourself. You got to get a good pitch up. You got to figure out if you got to know what a line budget is. You got to put a scenario. You got to sell the distributor almost like you're going to sell an investor. You got to put an investor package together with everything from the plot of the film to you're going to cast to the projections, and then the line budget, how much it's going to cost you, that you actually kind of know what you're doing, that if somebody did give you money, you could actually make a film.
Yeah.
Then having a distributor is going to be a lot easier, and you shop those around, start talking to people. They're out there. They want a good product. They're looking for people to come in and give them a product they can actually sell. And if you go on their websites, they're going to show you the films. A lot of the films are not that good. Our film festival, we had movies that were 3,000 times better than some of the films I see on with some distribution deals.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Another way to do it is we had a couple films at our festival. They were, one is one of my favorites. They're phenomenal films. They don't have a distributor yet, but they actually get the film done, and they kind of do some self-financing, borrow money, people kind of throw in, and they do it cheaply as possible. And then they try to go sell it, go to an AFI and pitch it and try to get an agent.
Yep.
It's good to do if you had the distribution deal before, because that makes it easier, because then you're going to film festivals and you may get lost in the little squalor of never seeing anybody yet again. But you want to try everything. You try everything.
Yeah. Josh?
Yes.
I'm trying not to hijack the show. I'm just staring at you, like waiting for you to say something that way. Like,
well, you look like you had something that you wanted to
no,
to follow
you're so
up
damn
with.
polite that you don't want to cut me off or speak over me.
That's right.
So I've got to sit here and silence, be like,
It's almost
Which is
like I
very
was
awkward.
raised in St. Olaf, you know?
it's very awkward for some guests where I'm just like, where's like guests like, what's going on?
You know, one thing you can do, you can go to, if you're a filmmaker, I would go to every local film festival and get a pass. I mean, you get past $30, $40. Go talk to the filmmakers, start talking to people. Where do you get your distribution deal? See the movies you might like to make. The kind of, if you're going to make a horror film, if you're going to make a thriller, if you're going to make a rom-com, you go to festivals that are having those films shown, and you sit in the audience and talk to the filmmakers. You go to the mixers and you talk to them. You got to work the business. It's, I mean, they don't call it show business for nothing. I know a lot of people, great actors, but they don't know the concept. You got to promote yourself. You got to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Just from what I've done, I've taken the line of thought. You can't be afraid to say yes. A lot of people just, for some reason, an opportunity gets presented, and they're like, "No, I have this or I have that." When in reality, if it's something you want to do, you can't be afraid to say yes. Would you say that's fair?
That's so true. Very funny. I have one of the actors we put in the film in the Legend of Fall Creek. We did that a few years ago. We made the friendship. We stayed in touch, and he's actually shooting a movie. And he called me up and says, "Hey, listen, I got a part for you, and I'm actually filming it Monday." And that's a little association of a guy we put in the film like 6 years ago, and and then he actually needed a location. He's going to come and use my house for a scene. But had I not done that film with it, that I never would have that happen. So he actually, I came back. I just got back from, I was out of town but I came back and I called him before I did anything else. I said, "I need to make the film. Before I do anything else, I want to put you on the schedule. You tell me when you need me." And I mean, if we're here, if you really want to be an actor, if you want to be a filmmaker, you kind of have to be selfish in the respect that you let project offers take advantage of everything. You just got to, if somebody offers you something, if you get a chance to work, do a film, do a play, do whatever, do improv, whatever, you got to do that and just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
My whole deal started when a friend said, "Hey, we need someone to hold the boom." And I said, "Okay." And a couple of features later, I had a speaking role.
Yeah, and I was right. I said yes to acting as a character in our script, in our series that we are going the animation route on now. So
it's also
I was going to be your bitch on the screen, Josh. I was going to sit there and let you direct me and humiliate me for money. Sorry, not even for money, just for fun.
Why are you talking about this like it's past tense, like it's not going in that direction?
I'm talking about having this mug in front of a camera.
Oh, it'll happen.
No, it will not.
You think
so? You think so? If it happens, it's going to be a case covered in makeup. Okay. I've had my acting days. They're long behind me. Don't you dare put that picture up. I know you're thinking about it. But
I would never do that.
Yeah,
in front
bullshit.
Of our very yes. That would just be totally embarrassing to you.
It's not. No, it's not. There it is.
Your greatest role ever.
19
Brandon.
years old again doing that job. That was fun.
Beautiful.
Hey, I got paid good money for that gig, man. I got paid to be an asshole. That's all I did. I was not allowed to speak, which is why it didn't really work out too well for me.
What was it? What was the character? Where was it?
Lighthouse Pete the Pirates. For the Cape May Lewis ferry. It's a ferry that takes people from Cape May, New Jersey, down to Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I was trained by the original Philly fanatic after he retired, and I was apparently in line to possibly go take the role because the other Philly fanatic was not sure if they were going to continue doing it or go to another team. And if I had stayed for another 3 years doing that, I probably would be working as the Philly fanatic even today. But things don't always work out that way. But either way,
forks in the road.
It happens.
Yeah, you could have had the picture of me where I played like the demonic pig surgeon. But it's cool. We'll go with Lighthouse Pete the Pirates.
I love it.
I'm going to get that other picture now.
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay. But so like the thing is like you said, like, yes is a good answer to have. And if you can't say yes, it's always at least like, well, I can't make it, I can't do this, but is there anything else you need of me? I can help you in any way I can. If not today, I can come in tomorrow, help out. Like, do you just need an extra hand on set?
Work at a set, that definitely.
Like I mean, honestly, there's a lot of ways to really get your name out there to make a good name for yourself, and there's ways to make bad names for yourself.
Sure.
I had a girl that was working on a friend's film that we had the makeup department just spraying fake blood, just little bits of fake blood for blood spatter on a person that was on the director's wife that was laying underneath of a bed sheet. She was playing a dead body. That's all she was doing. In comes homegirl with a bucket full of fake blood, just dumps it on her. Mind, she's only underneath of a bed sheet. It was just bought at like Target or something like that for like $10. It's not really that thick. Covered her in fake blood. Yikes. This woman had her hair done and everything else. She's wearing nice designer clothes, and she just got covered in fake blood. She came out. I felt so bad for her. She looked like she was Carrie. Like, oh
no!
Just went right through the fabric and all over her. So, things not to do, kiddos. Don't do that shit. But so you've been working in the industry for 20 years, and like you said, you have one thing people don't understand is you do have a job. You do have a day job. Josh and I, we have day jobs. He works for the school district. I work in healthcare. I work at nights. So I've got to pretty much make sure I have time to go do stuff. And if I don't, I take off. Like the film festival, I had to work that night. I'm like, yeah, I'll call out.
There you go. You
but
right.
Yeah, it was more important to be able to go and mingle and see what other people had going on and just say hi, and also see Brian, catch up with him, and try to meet everybody.
So it must be nice, Brandon, to have that ability, because the last time I called out, I believe what I heard upon return, and this is a direct quote from a teacher: "If you do that again, I will hunt you like a dog."
Oh,
wow.
So yeah, calling out would be nice every once in a while.
Well, I have a really good secret. I have a really, really good method of calling out.
She was joking, by the way.
No, okay. Well, I was going to say, but I do have a good method of calling out. I'm not coming in. Mm-hmm. Click. I'm not a good liar, so I don't lie. But
yes,
I used to be very honest. Hey, I can't make it in tonight. Why not? Because I don't feel like being there.
Fair enough.
Are you sick? Nope. You can't call out. I was like, well, I can't call out because I'm calling out right now. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, though. And that was it. I was told to stop doing that and just to say I'm sick, which I can't do. So I just say I'm not coming in. What's wrong? Well, ask the toilet. But either way, so getting off of the gross stuff and the calling out and work. One thing people don't understand is there is no formula to be successful in the film or entertainment industry. You have people with a fraction of talent that make a huge splash somehow and become very popular.
Mark Wahlberg, excuse me.
You have other people that are extremely talented. That you see some amazing films. I mean, there are some great independent films I've watched that are brilliant. And I'm like, this is the only thing this person's ever directed. Why?
Right.
So it's like, the realism is that, yeah, you have to have like some kind of, you have to have like, you can't be homeless. You don't want to be like the epitome of a starving artist in the film industry.
Right.
You can't really make something if you're, struggling that much, financially. So, but like, with you having like a job, like, I mean, when you get a gig, when you have a project that's come to fruition, how do you supplement your time at work versus like when you're about to work on like a long project that might take a few weeks to work on?
I'm very lucky. I have a position where I can take time off when I pick my own schedule. So if I want,
Oh, nice.
On the festival, I talked to. Basically, I was in charge of talking to all the filmmakers, figuring out, are they going to be at the film festival? Or are they going to have an audience? What kind of is their schedule? I started talking to everybody on the festival, all the filmmakers, all the people submitted, and that took, I was talking to most people like an hour or two a piece, some people longer, and that took a big commitment. So I knew that was going to happen. I knew before I deeped into that big ocean that I was going to have to, okay, I need to just kind of lighten up work a little bit. I'm in something where I can pick my own schedule, but if I don't work, I don't make money. But I figured I really want to do this full time, and I did a little bit of a sacrifice. So it's nice if you have a job where you don't have to go 9 to 5, but you can be flexible enough. And there's nothing positions out there you can be flexible enough that you can kind of pick your own schedule and do what you and make it cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I have summers off, so they're always filled with creative endeavors of some sort. I really, in fact,
Summers
it's
off,
the
huh?
only reason why I'm still doing what I'm doing, because it offers me the freedom to follow projects with either film or Wadco Media, or both, as they're intertwined. Working for other friends, because they know all they got to do is pick up the phone, and they got this guy that'll come and help out, whether it's just set stuff or in front of the camera, whatever the case may be. And I totally do it for free.
Right. It just takes. I mean, you ever play the lottery? You play the lotto? I buy a ticket. every draw, but I may never win. But when you win, you're going to change your life. Same thing is, one of these days you're going to be working on a project. It's going to be picked up at a film festival. Paramount's going to like and option it, and because you're in that film, you're going to get in the door, and your feature is made. So you got to keep on playing the lottery, keep on playing with other people, keep on doing art, and keep working on projects. And one of these days, it's going to happen. I mean, for some people, it happens as soon as they walk in the door. They get it. Other people have to work a little bit harder for it. So you just keep. If you're talented, you'll get your chance. You'll get your shot. You just got to put yourself out there. You have to.
Yeah, and it's funny. So she didn't comment, but when I was talking about the whole calling out thing, I am friends on Facebook with the staffing coordinator at my job. She shared the show. She says, "I see you, Brandon." Cena, I love you. Act like I don't come in and help you out as much as I can. But
worlds colliding.
Another lesson, kids: if you have a bad relationship with your boss, do not say things on social media and live on the air. Don't worry, Cena, I'm not calling out tonight. I will be there tonight. But yeah. So sorry, it kind of caught me off guard when I saw Cena share the post. But
you know what? I'll jump in there real quick. I'd like to hear more about just, first of all, not including your own at this point in time, but your thoughts on like the festival circuit and how artists are getting their material out there for these things. What do you think of the festivals going on, especially in your area?
Well, actually, the Dos Lagos Film Festival in Corona, that's our first Dos Lagos. We did a festival. We have done a festival for 5 years. It's called Capal. Our first year in Corona. Then we moved to North Hollywood at the Lamley for 3 years, and then the epidemic hit. We did it was virtual in the last one, but I got a chance to meet all phenomenal filmmakers. So in the Corona one, we had 3-day festival, which is almost nicer because you get a chance to work a little bit less, because the biggest days for festivals are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's the day the days we were able to do it. But you see filmmakers. This happened literally probably 10 times at least this past festival. You had a kid who submitted a film, a project, and they put this out there, and they got accepted. And then when they did, sometimes film festivals don't make their money by submissions. We don't really do that. We really want to put as many films we can up, even the ones that are super quality. We still want to give them a view. So we had a few films that it was the first time the filmmaker had seen this film on a screen in a theater, and it's emotional. I mean, literally, you get a little teary-eyed to see what it does to them. They bring their family there and their friends, and they actually see a film they did. And I've had literally over 10 of the filmmakers who are in our Dos Lagos Film Festival say, "You actually revitalized me, and I'm going to rededicate myself to be a filmmaker." So we lit the fire at a lot of folks, which is pretty
awesome.
Yeah. And then it's just the contacts. We met. We met a filmmaker, 2 filmmakers. They got some cameras. We're going to probably work with them again. And it's just the networking you can do with like-minded folks, and just keep on network. You network the heck out of it. Go to acting classes. Go to the film festivals. One good trick: if you have a film, you want to show it. If you go to Lamley at on a Friday night, rent out a theater, it's going to cost you like $1,500 to rent out a screen for 2 hours. If you're smart, you contact the film festival and work with the director like me, and you'll get your premiere. You'll get a premiere at the film festival. For instance, we had a film 2 years ago that came in, really good film, and for the submission price of $100, he got a Friday night screening like at 8 o'clock at night, prime time, and filled the theater up with everybody. It was like $100 submission fee. He bought a few tickets for some of his actors. So for under $200, he got his film shown at the festival in a really prestigious type way with a lot of respect. And he didn't have to worry about anything. So there's a lot of ways you can just market yourself and get to know people and make things happen.
No.
Yeah, I think when some people enter festivals, they have their eyes on a trophy or a cash prize or something like that. I think the reality of it should be your entry fee and your gas money to go to your screenings is more towards contributing to the social aspect. You're going there to meet people, and it's really awesome seeing your work on screen. That is absolutely true. But at the same time, like you said, you're in a room full of people that love the same thing you do, and that is the key to making more things, by knowing more people to help get more things done.
Exactly. That's so true. And don't fall in love with your project. You have a movie. Once it's done, you have to be thinking of your next project. What are you doing next year? You got to always keep thinking what you're doing next. You fall in love with a project. You got to keep on thinking about what's next. I mean, the movie we did, we have a horror film in pre-production. We're already thinking 2 films out. Okay, once that's done, we got to work on the other one. If you really want to do this, you got to keep on putting it out there. I've seen some filmmakers, they show the same movie and they go to 200 film festivals for 2 years. Nothing ever gets done. They got to put it out there, let the world maybe accept it and love it, and then do something else and just keep on working out. Maybe if I don't have a film, I'll be working on a film with Brendan and Josh and just keep work on something else. Then next time you work with me, you work on a movie with me, you can't network yourself. You can never stop working. And once you have a movie, you got to market it. You can make sure you market it. You make sure you always look for what's the next project. Always working. Always be closing, as they say.
Yeah. Well, it's like the thing is, like, people like you said, don't fall in love with the project, and people like really underestimate the value of. I hate social media. Like, I'm just going to say, I hate social media with a passion. I can't stand it. It serves its purpose, but I hate it.
Because you keep getting banned.
Well, I mean, people don't like to hear the truth. No, but like, people don't really see the value of you have like a snippet from your film. You're not breaking any copyright laws because it's all your own music, or it's like the music is in public domain. You have like a scene that you wrote or that you acted in something. You have a reel. You have things like TikTok. You have things like Instagram. You have Facebook. You have YouTube, Twitter. You have all these ways to set yourself up. Like you said, don't fall in love with just the film, because I know of people that have been just chasing film festivals for years on one film. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, move on now. Move on.
Yeah.
That film you worked hard. You did a great job with it. It wasn't accepted the way you wanted it to be accepted. It's hit or miss. You're going to write something that people are going to love. You're going to write something that people are going to just like hate and bash. But you can add little snippets into like TikTok. Oh, well, check this out. Like this is this movie, whatever. You can find it on Amazon Prime or wherever. And then you can move on to your next gig or your next thing, whatever it is, music video, like short animation, short film, whatever. You have so many things you can work on next. So you can keep busy and keep learning your craft and keep honing in on your specific style. But like you said, like I've seen people chase their films and chase film festivals and even like not just local, traveling. I had a friend of mine that lived out here that flew all the way out to New York City for a film festival for a film he made like 8 years ago.
No.
It was an empty theater. I was living in New Jersey. I went to go meet up with him. I was like, oh, we can hang out. Like, go up there. I'm like, oh, was this worth your ticket?
Still doing this, huh?
Well,
it's like you did this right after college. Like, let's just like, I thought it was gonna be something I haven't seen like 100 times. So,
right.
Moving forward with another project, just off the top of your head, how many times have you heard the story of, and I moved on to the next project. The next project hit, and then people started looking back at the previous project, and that's when it finally hits.
Exactly.
So it's that next one could be the one,
right?
And that could get the attention on the thing that you just had a hard time letting go of. But you can't move forward without moving forward.
Right. The author John Grisham, he wrote a few books. It was basically nobody liked it. Then he wrote The Firm, and the film was a huge success. They went back to all his old books, and so wow, this is terrific. They rediscovered him. They rediscovered his own work. So that makes a lot of sense. You just got to keep on putting your work out there, keep working on other projects, keep on putting stuff out there, and eventually one of these days they're going to have the Josh and Brendan Museum and retrospective. You'll be on PBS. And have great interviews and talk about your body of work. You got it. You don't fall in love.
I can imagine a museum with anything in one hallway dedicated to me. It'd be just like oh, here's my one per episode. It'd be like a mind fuck for anyone. They'd walk in there like, the hell is this?
Oh, I was gonna set you up so nicely for your one per episode with our Inside the Actor Studio. So, what's your favorite swear word, Brandon? And you just blew it.
You know what? But it's like, well, like you said, like, I mean, the next movie could be the one that draws attention to the first one. But then I tried to explain this to somebody. Someone asked me one time, what if your first film was horrible? That's like the kiss of death for your career. I was like, not necessarily.
No.
Like I had to tell someone like Francis Ford Coppola, one of the most prolific directors in the history of the film industry. His first movie was an absolute disaster. It flopped. It was terrible.
Right.
But he went on, to make amazing films. Oh God, what was it called?
The Godfather?
No. The Bellboy and the Playgirls, I think.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. The Bellboy and the Playgirls. I'll look it up in a little bit. But he went on. He made amazing films after that one. It just did terrible.
Right. If he had given up after that one movie and says, "Oh, I'm done. this is not for me."
Yeah. If he had walked away, like we wouldn't have anything else of his. Like it would just be a waste. And then if he walked away, we would not have Nicolas Cage. Let's just be honest here. We wouldn't have Nicolas Cage without the Coppolas. But so it all trickles down to like how passionate you are. You may just come out with a bunch of like just shit films, but you know, me and Josh, our favorite director, modern director, is Kevin Smith. We love Kevin Smith. You know, we love like the whole Views universe. We've talked about it in great detail in the show before. We had differing views on Clerks from 1994. I think it's almost completely unwatchable. I cannot sit through it. Clerks 2, brilliant movie. Bravo. Clerks 3, bawled my eyes out. But it's like it's one of those deals where it's like, you know, that's a movie that was made in a time where these days Clerks would never probably lead to anything after that, because it's just like, I don't know how it would do in today's society, but you know, but I could see something like if he were to come out with like Mallrats afterwards, be like, oh well, what's this? Oh, he's got Clerks, and they go back and see Clerks.
Sure.
And then they're like, oh well, okay, these are, you know, like there's like that what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's just like a steady style that he would have for those movies.
Sure.
Consistency.
So consistency. That's what I'm like. They're very, very consistent with the humor, with the writing, and everything else. Like, and then, you know, he got better at writing, thankfully, and came out with the other movies. But you know, but so, are you working on anything like now? Do you have anything in pre-production right now?
We have a movie. It's called The House in the Middle of Nowhere.
Oh, okay.
It's a really, the other two movies we've done had a lot of comedic elements to it.
Yeah. I noticed.
Black Pumpkin's got like 3 kids in it, so it was funny. We had some humor. This one's gonna be really kind of more dark and not much humor at all. It's gonna be more special effects. We use actually real special effects, so real special effects limited. And so we're trying to, we want to get better every time. We don't want to keep on doing the same movie over and over. If you look at the first movie we've done to what we're going to do for Hitman, we keep on up in the game. We learn more. The first time you do a movie, I don't want to make that mistake again. You keep on learning more and more until you actually get better. I mean, the first time you ever kissed anybody, you probably weren't a great kisser. Now you kind of develop your kiss a little bit. So your first kiss, now your last kiss, they've improved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do something here. Sorry. Are we getting? Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought we were getting like a comment. I'm getting people that are liking the video. It's like, you guys can speak.
Don't be shy,
Brand's on here. Like. And now moving on. Like, guys, you can, like, you know, if there's questions, you can ask questions. It's okay. But okay, so with that being said, like, okay, so you have this other one, like, is it like so the script is already done, it's just like at this point just like raising the finances to get it done and location scouting, or how far along into the project are you?
Locations, we pretty much got it cast.
Okay.
Those that we're trying to, we'll fine tune a little bit, but now we're dealing with the financing because the budget's $200,000, and we don't have that yet, so we're going for the financing. Gotcha.
Okay.
Right.
Now, where are you planning on filming this?
Actually, the Corona area. If you look at Corona is in Los Angeles, for those of the audience who's not in Los Angeles. So it's east of Los Angeles, about 60 miles near Riverside. But there's it's a very receptive film market because they want to work, they want to employ, people want to work films. There's a lot of folks who are going to be working on films. They don't really want money. They want to pad their career. Some of the actors, we're doing the movie actually on a SAG ultra low budget. We've written it SAG because that's kind of the right way. However, the actors aren't getting paid a lot of money. Now, if it breaks off and it gets sold, it's gonna be really good. However, you got to get actors. So that's another process. How do you cast a film? How do you? I mean, you could do a whole show about that, I'm sure. It's just we have it. We have the whole thing cast. We have it. We're almost pretty. We just got to do the pre-production of SAG, and we're good.
See, casting film. I don't think, Josh. I don't think we ever had an episode about that, buddy. I don't know if we've ever really discussed how to go about casting anything. I remember when I wrote Homeless Mafia, my idea was to get legitimate homeless people to play like the mafia guys, and just give them like $100 for like like the entire day and feed them. And I was like, oh yeah, you're an actor now. Like, all right, cool. Oh, how did you get these homeless people to look? They look like they're homeless people. Like, well, yeah, because they are. They got a Happy Meal and $100. What do you want? Like, but okay, like no, the casting would actually be a great idea. Like, I don't think we've ever discussed that. That's actually a damn good idea to talk about. So with all that being said, like, do you have like a projected time frame that would take to like when you want this film to be finished, wrapped, and released?
Okay. Well, if we shoot it, probably because the pre-production is going to probably take. If we shoot it this winter, when you film it, you try, and this is for a feature. You don't have to do a feature. You can do a short in a lot less time, for a lot less money.
Yeah.
However, the feature, we're going to try to edit as we go. And then after it's done, then you got this big mishmash of celluloid. You got to put it on. You got to put it in its proper form. The post production takes a long time. From the beginning of starting the first filming, you need like 6, 7, 8 months to really get a good finished product.
Okay.
And then that's when you can put it out. You might constantly work on it. And then I know folks who they have a film and they keep on making it better and better and better. At some point in time, you just got to kind of go with it. Typically, if you get, luckily a studio picks it up, they're going to take it out. They're going to finish it off for you, so it's good for production value. So you really want to get it out there, for sure. But again, question about 7 months if you do it right, between the time you start rolling camera and that time you're finished, and then go in the post. The post takes a while. Depends on how elaborate you are. For instance, our effects for the horror film are going to be all real. We're not going to do any special effect. It's got no CGI. It's going to be all real special effects, and those are better. So it's going to save on post a little bit.
So you're going like full practical effects then.
Absolutely right.
So that's the way to go. Like, I wish people would like respect that more. David Cronenberg was amazing with practical effects, and they were stomach turning, but they were beautiful. Then you have Sharknado. Fucking Sharknado.
I'll be the first to say, the more money you have, I think the more it hurts a horror film.
Yeah,
as we've seen,
I think that's a very fair assessment, depending on the kind of horror.
Well, these CGI fests are, to me, my personal opinion, not the way to make effective horror.
You see,
it's hard to get into it.
Yeah, see, me and Josh had this conversation a lot. Like, I think we've talked about this a few times, Dave. Like, I told him one time that I think the short films that feature-length horrors that studios purchase the rights for, and they make these movies, I think the short films are 99% of the time better than the feature films. Like Mama, I watched that movie. It was nauseating sitting in the theater for that thing. The short film, it was okay. Maybe Jump at least. The feature film, nothing.
Right.
Saw, the short film for Saw was actually brilliant. But like, so what are your views on like the whole like? Would you prefer to have more money for the horror films, or do you think do you agree with Josh, like where you think less money is better, like less is more?
Depends on how the whole idea is the kills for horror films. And I'm not a huge fan of horror films, even though that's all I'm doing. But actually, what got our distribution deal for us was the real special effects. We're not going CGI. We're going the real McCoy. So that's a good group. But then of course, if you brought a good point up with the short films, because the features are long, they're going to take a lot of money to produce. But if you can get a good short concept film and kind of show what you want, you can get some interest in other. That's a great way to show investors what you're capable of. Great way to introduce yourself to other filmmakers, other studios, and it's a great way to get your word out there. So I would almost, when you start off, I would almost start with a short and I've seen some shorts, like you said, that are phenomenal, I mean, look at the Twilight Zone. You guys, I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh yeah.
The Twilight Zone, when it was a 30-minute show, when it was like 26 minutes or 24 minutes for commercials, it was tight. When they went to the hour version, that one season, they drug. So shorter is better. So if you can tell your story shorter, do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of I think, see, that's why I like anthology movies. That's one thing I love, especially if it's in the horror. Like I know that horror may not be your preference despite what you're doing, but when it comes to stuff like that, like I think anthology movies are amazing films because you're watching like 2 to 3 3 to 4 short films.
Exactly right.
Like the VHS series, or even like if you want to go drama, if These Walls Could Talk, you're seeing a bunch of short films mixed in, tied by one common thread.
Right.
Trick or Treat, all these things.
Smoke.
Huh?
Smoke.
Not familiar with Smoke.
It's a good movie. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. You'll have to send me a link so I can go watch it. Or post it. Hype it up. Well, Dave, where can people find your current movies that you have?
Right now, we're right past Halloween, but if you want to watch Black Pumpkin, and if you have Amazon Prime, just type in Black Pumpkin.
Okay.
It's phenomenally easy to watch it. And like you said, thank you for the say it was an easy watch. It's not too scary. I mean, it's not too gory, but it's kind of fun and it's a little bit humor in it. But it's got some good. A lot of the true horror fans actually kind of respected it for what it was. Other movie is on Voodoo, and it's in Tubi, and it's The Legend of Fall Creek.
Okay. Well, so I just want to make sure because and I'll post the pictures and the names of the movies and everything else where they can find them. I just want to make sure I knew where we could post them. That way we can actually have people go see these. Because I really did enjoy Black Pumpkin. I'm a huge horror buff. I love horror films. I'm like one of very few people in my group of friends that will actually go and sit through a horror film and, with a smile on my face while someone's getting dismembered by a chainsaw. Last time I laughed at a horror film on a date, like, oh my God, you see that blood spurt? Like,
that was great.
Okay, so as someone that makes horror films, I do have a question for you. And it's not because I mentioned this to someone I work with when I was trying to come up with an idea for a zombie script that I am currently still trying to figure out the ins and outs to. I have it to where an annoying neighborhood kid is dismembered. Now this isn't like a late teens kid. This is it's just like a little asshole 13-year-old that just whatever. They have it's a zombie comedy. And they have a chance to save this kid. And this one guy's like, okay, I'm coming. The zombie gets a hold of him. He's like, I'm done. Because the kid's already getting bitten into. He's like, what do you want me to do? I can't save the kid. As he's ripping the kid apart, there's okay, I can't watch this. So when it comes to stuff like that, do you think that there should be a line to be drawn in the sand as to what you should and should not do? Because I think with horror, I think a good horror film, all gloves should be off. You're there to leave the theater or stop the movie and feel unsettled. That's how I look at a really good horror film. You should walk away completely my God, what the hell did I just watch?
Right.
It was that good that I don't want this light to be off now. That light in the hallway needs to stay on for right now. Just whatever. So when it comes to the movies that you work on, now this will be the last time I ask about horror, I promise you. Do you think there should be a limit as to what you put the characters through?
Short answer is no.
What's the long answer?
The long answer is you got to look at your market, because as we talked about before, actually, it's like being on a roller coaster. A good horror film puts you on a roller coaster. It's scary. You're scared to death. But when you get off it, you want to go right back on the ride again. Oh, that was fun back in. So I've seen horror films that were so disturbing. I still kind of wish I could unsee them because it's the experience.
Human Centipede.
But for some films, if you can be intelligent about it, like if you can get anywhere near Hitchcock, for instance, some of his brilliant stuff. You're going to remember those. It has a profound effect for folks, decades after you film it. So you can go cheap, or you can go really think a little bit more about it rather than for a cheap thrill. Those are fine. Those are fun. But also probably aspire to more insightful, maybe like a Silence of the Lambs type of thing. That I remember that when I saw Silence of the Lambs with a buddy of mine after the film, he says, "Dude, you want to stay the night? I don't want to be here by myself." He was so scared.
So you missed out on a golden opportunity. You should stay the night when he's sleeping. Put the lotion in the basket. Are you a size 4? Oh God! You don't know what pain is. And see, that was my opportunity. That, Josh, was my opportunity. I could have quoted him right there. I could have saved that F-bomb, but I did not.
Waste.
I know. I could have quoted Buffalo Bill, man. That would have been amazing. But all right, Josh, you have any questions?
I did, but then your impressions kind of threw me off a little bit. Totally lost my train of thought. So I'm going to have to... Yeah, I'm going to have to pass. I'm out of questions.
Oh, God.
You destroyed my brain, Brandon.
At least it's one of my more, socially acceptable impersonations. So, not the other ones. Because you and I have had some conversations for the animated series.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can be done without us getting canceled out here. So
well, we should figure it out because I'd be down with that.
What works for South Park will not work for us, I promise you, buddy. But either way. All right, but okay. So Black Pumpkin is on, you said, let me make sure I have this down. Black Pumpkin, you said, is on Amazon. Legends of Fall Creek is on Vudu?
Yes.
Okay. All right, make sure I have this down. Because like I said, I want to make sure we have this somewhere where we can actually have people turn to it and go see it.
Throw the links up on the different posts for this video.
Okay.
So as people are watching it, they can go down into the information section and just go ahead and give it a click.
Okay. But yeah, I do have to get going because I'm I work night shift. But Dave, you are always welcome to come back on the show, pal. I definitely love to have you back here. But we are going to have to start wrapping this show up. Definitely stay for the after show. We will have a brief conversation afterwards too. That will not be on the air. Sorry, kids, you don't get to see the whole behind the scenes bit here. But is there you told me before Facebook you pretty much use for birthdays. It's oh yeah, happy birthday. Here you go. Go away now. But do you have social media where people can follow you and keep up with your work and your progress?
I'm on Instagram. It's Dave Uchansky. I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't do the Twitter thing particularly now, but no more Twitter. But yeah, Instagram.
I tried Twitter. I can't. I suck at it. So
no.
I'm so bad at it.
It's very.
But
true.
Yeah. Also Facebook. So for sure.
What's that?
Also Facebook.
Okay.
Got me on there as well.
Okay. And I guess is this where we close out, Josh?
Well, you could always tell people where people can find you on social media, Brandon.
All right. Well, on you can hit me up on Instagram names in the like my name is down here at the bottom. Like, let me see if I can point to this. Right there we go. Let's look at this camera. New phone, camera's different place. Right there, bjacksman1982 on Instagram. Facebook, Brandon Junk. I most likely will not accept you as a friend. Sorry, it's like Club Brandon has a long line, and I suck at looking at the guest list. So I really don't know who's going to be on there. You most likely will never get added. So, but you can always follow me and stalk me. I just did 2 Facebook reels, so kind of getting going a little viral here. But you can also find me on TikTok. That's right, I'm a 40-year-old man with a TikTok. Just look up Brandon Junk, and you'll see a picture of me looking studious at the photographer with glasses and a really stupid pose of this right here. It's all black and white. It's very art house, I think. Now, as far as the WADcast, you can find us at the soon-to-be defunct WADcast.com while we find a new host for the webpage and also reconstruct it and just rebrand it. But you can find the WADcast on Instagram and on Facebook. It's a very similar method. Facebook.com/the WADcast. Instagram.com/the WADcast. You'll know our page because we have a black picture with a white banner that says, "Guess what's in it?" WADcast. It's very simple. It's very self-explanatory. Just go look us up, like us, follow us, love us. Help us get out of the daily grind of working for the man. And that's about it. Josh, what about you, sir? Mr. Captain Gingerbeard.
Make sure we have this straight. So, what should they look for on Facebook?
The WADcast. A black picture, white banner.
For you.
Oh, for me? Oh, yeah. Brandon Junk.
And on your OnlyFans, should they just look up Brandon's Junk?
No, it's Brandon's Secret. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no! I think my OnlyFans is the Junk Man Cometh. There's no content, guys, so you can follow me. I have a fan so far. No, I have 2. I have 2 fans now on OnlyFans. Apparently I can show some skin and make some money, but I'm not a hussy. I'm a classy broad.
What would your mother say?
Huh?
What would your mother say?
She would not be surprised, trust me. If I was a woman, if I was a woman, I'd be working a pole right now, okay? My mom knows it. Everyone else knows it. I've got no shame in my game. My flat ass would be up there shaking it for money.
Well, nothing's stopping you now.
Well, the places where I would have to go to work, because I don't have that kind of an ass or anything like that, are places where I'd find a nice man. And I'm not. I love everybody, but I don't think anyone would be rich enough to take me home.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to follow what I'm doing on the internet, you can go to wadcomedia.com. That has all the pertinent social links and information. It also has links to the merchandise shop. You can buy really cool T-shirts that were designed by an awesome guy. Me. No, I'm terrible graphic designer, but I know how to put stuff on a T-shirt, and I think that should count for something.
But you don't really put anything on the T-shirt. Someone else does it. You just kind of order them.
Okay, that's fair. But I know how to direct people to the people that will put it on the shirt. And that should count for something. I'm over here trying
to take other people's credit.
Connecting people all the time with the things they need. But if you want to reach out to me directly, I would say go to Skid Comic, at Skid Comic on Twitter. It's a household name. And one of these days I might use it, but today is not that day, and tomorrow's not looking great either. Sorry. Instagram, I have one photo put up, so maybe not there either. So just go to Wadco Media, follow the links to the Facebook pages, because those do get updated. And we broadcast live every Friday night, the WADcast, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. But that's not all we do. On Mondays, it's Tori Finds the TARDIS. It's our Monday show, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Skip to Wednesday, 10 to 1. Lists about movies and stuff. Jen and I go through a top 10 of just some arbitrary topic as it relates to movies. The last one we did was our favorite movies of 2022 so far. The number 4 will surprise you. That's how you do it, right, Brandon?
Sure.
Yes. And of
So
course,
something like clickbait. Sure. Yes. Let's say do clickbait.
That's what I was going for. Every Thursday night at TV Dinners. It's,
okay. Good.
You
did a good job.
Podcast all about stuff going on in the TV world. We did do it last night because, well, Tropical Storm Nicole decided I didn't need electricity no more, and kind of put the kibosh on the whole thing. What can you do? So yeah, by the
not
way,
much, but I'm happy. I'm happy that you went back to joining the modern age. But I'm just going to say the Amish could have figured it out.
Electricals. I enjoy it. I may look, like I should be out in the fields of Pennsylvania, but I certainly don't feel it in my heart. No, I don't.
Oh my God.
But that's all the plugs. That's all the stuff. Why don't you thank our guest for dropping by, having fun with us tonight?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came. I don't know.
What was that?
Well, I was thanking Dave for dropping by and having fun with us tonight because, and you just kind of froze and were like,
Josh, you sound like you're on the synthesizer, buddy.
Maybe I am.
There we go. You sound like that 80s like commercial guy that was like really creepy, but yeah, him.
Yeah.
The fact that you just knew exactly who I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But
Max Headroom and Mac Tonight were my childhood.
All right. Well, you want to do the final thoughts so we can get that horrid music out the way?
Yes, I do. Let's see. Dave, every week at the end of the show, I come off with a final thought of the week. It hasn't changed in 111 episodes, so I think I might nail it this time. But it's also accompanied by music that Brandon loathes. And that's my favorite part. Yeah, there it is. All right, kids. You know what time it is. It's time for the final thought. And it's the same as it always is, because you really need to kind of let it sink in. Let it hit you upside the head. Do something. And that's the message. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. You got to stop making excuses about why you can't. And just start not only accepting, but creating opportunities to where you can. If you want to be a writer, you know what you need? Pencil, paper, PC, laptop, phone. Just write. Nobody's going to stop you. If you want to make a movie, it may not be Citizen Kane, but you got a phone. You might have friends. So at least start creating in whatever way you can. And start doing it immediately. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But every time you put off your dreams, it just makes it more difficult to do them. All right, well, that's going to do it for us at the WADcast, episode number 111. I hope everybody had a great time with us tonight. I know I did. And we will see you again next week. Next Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here, Wadco Media. Until then, have a great night.